Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we're cracking on with the weapons of the A-10C. Last time we did the dumb weapons, which is the guns and slick bombs and cluster bombs and rockets. So now we've got the first video of the guided weapons. In this we have some heat-seeking missiles, edgeware, we have some Mavericks, and we have some JDAMs. And what were the JDAMs called again, Sherman?
The JDAMs we currently have equipped are the GBU-38.
GBU-38, and they're sat-nav guided, aren't they?
They are GPS guided.
GPS.
Once they release from your aircraft, they basically use their internal INS to impact the target.
If I'm right, first things first, I remember I've got to go and load this stuff up, so stand by. Stand by as I get that sorted. Load, load all, loading my current loadout into the DSMS. Okay, I've loaded, checking. Yep, it's got all my stuff there, including my targeting pod. So you said we might want to warm up the site, something.
Mavericks.
Yeah.
So the Mavericks need to be warmed up before they will even function in a similar manner to the TGP, except they take even longer. So before we go into the demonstration of how to use them, we will go to, on the right, MFCD, there is a page called Mav. Click that.
Roger.
Right, so when you get there, you should see it says off. In the top right, you should see something which says EO, electro-optical. It should be set to off at the moment. If you click that, it will begin a warm-up procedure in which the Mavericks are aligned to the rest of the system, and the coolant starts flowing in to prevent them from overheating.
Roger. Okay, and this is something you have to stay still for?
No, we can do this mid-flight, which is why we're doing it now. Okay, now we can take off.
Right, take off.
The lag. Don't die on me, A-10, please don't die on me.
Rotate.
Safe.
I've not got lag.
Gear.
Gear up.
Flaps.
Flaps.
I'm all trimmed funny because of my lightning pod.
Say again.
I'm trimmed funny because of my lightning pod.
Shouldn't have a major effect. The A-10's wings are so massive that typically you won't feel lopsided most of the time.
Right, memory is about 0. Oh, you know where to go.
Okay. I'm going to turn us towards the approximate bearing 060. Look for the lake, and to get your guided weapon set up, we're going to use the TGP to designate a SPI. Also, another thing, Cap, if you want to keep your currently selected sensor of interest as, say, either the map or the TGP, then you can use the upper keyboard, select plus and minus to cycle your weapons.
Roger. Right, so my Maverick is warmed up and I have a camera. My TGP is just a blank screen.
Set it to air to ground mode. You're currently in standby mode.
Roger that. Right, welcome back. So I've just been spending a bit of time. I've been warmed up the Mavericks and they're warmed up, and warming up and setting up the TGP, and that's now going. Setting that to air to ground. Right, so we now have the TGP on left MFD, Mavericks on right MFD. Where do you want to start?
Well, if your Mavericks are warmed up, what you want to do is you want to get them on your right MFD. You'll notice that if you don't have them selected on the screen, you will have the word sensor in the left, which means that it won't fire them, but you will be able to use them as a searching sensor.
That's on the Mavericks, Roger.
Right, let me just get mine selected.
What are we doing first, Mavericks?
So I now have mine. Yeah. So now on the Maverick screen, you essentially have the camera view of the Maverick seek ahead. If you look on your HUD, you will see where the seeker head is pointing relative to the aircraft.
Tally. First question is, does the Mavericks work off the TGP or or separate system?
They are entirely separate. However, you can set your TGP as the SPI and then slew the Maverick sensor to the SPI.
Roger. Right, so what weapon are we going to use first, Sherman?
Let's use the Maverick. So select the Maverick.
So I'm going to make it soy, shall I?
Yes. You will then use your TDC to slew the seeker head.
Now, what HUD mode do I want to be in?
CCIP or CCRP will work for using the Mavericks.
CCIP, roger. Now I'm going to select the weapon, standby. And I can't select the weapon. What have I done wrong?
You have the Maverick selected as soy, so the DMS controls will have a different reaction. So instead, you're going to use the keyboard just under your HUD and click the select button, either plus or minus, and cycle through your available weapons until you select the Mavericks.
Stand by. GBU-38, GBU-12, Mavericks selected.
Yes, you should now see bore sighted is the Maverick sight.
Roger.
You'll see it on the HUD and as well as on your Maverick display.
Roger.
This is useful because if you don't want to look entirely through the Maverick to sight where it is, like say on the Vigan, you can just sight it onto the smoke trail instead, and then use the Maverick seeker head.
Roger. So I'm moving the Maverick seeker head about the HUD at the moment.
Yes. So the Maverick seeker is not ground locked. You can only try and designate it onto a image source, either on a thermal imaging source or on a light dark source, depending on the type of seeker head. We're using the AGM-65D, so it will try and track thermal imaging sources. You can either tell it to track a source by pressing TMS forward short, or you can just try and slew it over and the Maverick will automatically attempt to lock onto the next heat source it finds. Another thing to note, the Maverick has variable zoom levels just like the TGP, so you have wide angle and narrow angle view.
How do I adjust that China hat?
Yes, China hat forward short.
Right, standby, China hat forward short. Yep, zoomed in. Right, I'm now got it above the target area. I'm looking for bad guys. Don't really see any bad guys. See the smoke trail.
Look for yeah, get yourself zoomed in onto the smoke trails. As you get closer, the imaging should become clearer.
Okay.
Another thing to note is when your Maverick is actually looking at the terrain, the computer will determine where that is as well as the altitude, so you'll get things like a range, etc.
Weird. Mine doesn't appear to be working, or I just can't see the smoke trails for some reason.
It's something to do with the thermal imaging in the current build.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is.
But yeah, if you can see the road, then you know you're on target. Right. So I've got mine locked.
So I'm going to lock onto something there. So is it TMS forward to lock?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's found something. I think it's telling me it's...
Yes, so you'll notice that it locks onto it and sticks to it. It's no longer following your plane.
Yes, it's locked onto something.
Yeah. You'll also notice that there's a little flashing cross in your in the camera view of the Maverick.
Roger. Well, there was a second ago.
Yeah, so that cross normally isn't flashing and is centered on your bore sight. That cross represents the difference in angle between your aircraft's nose and the Maverick. So it gives you an idea of the weapon offset.
Right, I'm crossing. I'm flashing cross. I think I'm ready to fire. Shall I pop one out?
Fire.
Cap. Rifle. And another one. Rifle. And that's so those two. So I'm going to go and follow them in.
Right, remember, each one has to be locked individually.
Roger, I think they were locked, but we'll see. Just following them visually. Bang, shack 1, bang, shack 2. Not bad, start. Right, going round. In fact, there's not many targets left, so I shan't go round again with Mavericks.
pretty
happy with the Mavericks. They were pretty easy to use, to be honest. They pretty much just lock onto anything on their own.
Again, you can actually lock them to your currently set SPI as well, which is useful if you set a mark point as a SPI. So you set 5 mark points, you slew each Maverick to the mark point, fire in quick succession, and voila, 6 dead targets.
Roger. Right, what do you want to fire off next?
Let us start with the GBU-38 next, and this is going to be important. Go to your TGP, get it slewed onto a target.
So I'm going to go TGP, I'm going to go soy. Okay, I am going to set myself up in an orbit right here, right now. In fact, I'm going to get it from the HUD first of all. So I'm going to put it back to HUD, and then I'll switch it over to the TGP.
It is a very unique role in today's air forces, where it's just drop the ordnance and get out as fast as possible. The A-10 is the exception to the rule.
Roger. So I've just set in a quick. Okay, I've set a SPI up just with my HUD. Now I'm going to turn it over to the TGP. Stand by.
So if you press China hat forward long, your TGP will slew to that SPI.
Stand by. Yep, it's found it, and I've just got to make a few adjustments. Let me set myself up in a nice, comfortable thingy. Okay, why don't you want to get into a autopilot? Why are you unhappy? Let's try that again.
The autopilot mode will not activate if you're outside of its parameters, so altitude hold will not activate if you're in like a 5-degree climb.
Okay, she is now on. Please don't crash me. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Right, back to... Oh god, it's pointing at my wing again. I hate it when it does this. Right, so we just have to wait until it's not pointing at my wing, basically. Annoyingly.
Yeah, again, this is a real problem that the pilots have to deal with. In fact, the laser is designed that if it's within a certain distance from the ring, it doesn't fire because it can actually cause eye damage if you stare into the laser.
Come on, wing, go away. Must be a way of working out how to orbit without having this happen.
I'm fairly certain there is, you just haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, I'm going to turn autopilot off for a while and just do a bit of manual flying. Let's see if that helps. So I'm going to turn in...
Yeah, just get it so that you have the TGP clearly following.
Right, there's my target. Right, so I zoom in with...
Client is tainted. What on earth does that mean? Is that like they got mods or something?
Yeah. Okay, Germaine, I'm locked onto a little wagon.
Right, so now set your TGP as the SPI.
Did you mean the soy?
No, soy and SPI.
I believe it is.
Alright, you can check your HUD to confirm that. It should say TGP bottom left.
It says TDC, so that's interesting.
So in other words, no, it is not currently the SPI. So press and hold TMS forward long.
TMS forward long, holding now.
Right, now check your HUD, it should say TGP.
Correct, it does say that indeed, yes.
Alright, so this is important with the GBU-38 because your SPI is the point at which the bomb will calculate to impact and your aircraft will calculate to release.
Yes.
So now do the same thing you did with the CBU-97s, which is get both of the lines lined up.
Right,
but here's the difference. You won't have the countdown circle. Instead, if you look at the two circles, you'll notice that there's two sets of arrows on the inner circle. Those represent the minimum and maximum release points. If your range carrot is within those 2 points and you press and hold the weapons release, you will release the GBU-38.
Okay, right, I'm heading away now, so let me head out for a little bit.
Better hurry, shit's getting strafed.
Right. I don't need to set it to CCRP.
Yes.
Stand by. Okay, on target we have a big vertical line. Target's there. So I've got one big vertical line, my normal kind of gun reticule, and another little flashing.
Right, so that is the release point reticle. It's doing the same thing. As I said, you should have 2 arrows within the inner circle. When your range distance is within those 2 arrows, you can press and hold the weapon release to drop a bomb.
I'm about to do it, and weapon release. Okay, gotta follow that. Stand by.
Right, at this point you can leave the bomb to do its thing. The bomb will go to your designated SPI on its own. It's GPS guiding itself.
Watching.
Yeah, it's going to hit.
Nice. Did it? Wow. Something I did actually work. Okay, so that's how you drop the J-Band. So just to confirm, what we had to do is we had to select the SPI, we had to slave it to the TGP, then we selected the weapon and dropped it, basically. Easy as that.
Exactly. So the reason that the JDAM is so useful is because if you get a proper SPI marked, even if it's not via your TGP, if you just have a mark point on the ground, you can drop the bomb and get out of there without having to babysit it, and you can drop a whole bunch in quick succession on different targets.
Right, I'm going to find another target, and then should we laser GBU-12 onto something?
Yes, so the GBU-12 is different.
Shit.
It doesn't use that. It uses the same one that we use for the CBU-97. However, there is another trick that you can do, because the GBU-12 obviously requires lasing. Oh, I'm going to show you something on the DSMS, which is useful for self-laser designating.
Just finding a target, stand by. Okay, I've got my target ready. It's speed, it's TGP, it's ready to go. So I'm going to select...
Right. So, go to the DSMS page on the left side.
DSMS. So, got to think of how I get back out there.
The left-hand thing.
Yep.
Left-hand MSCD. In the top of that page, click Prof, which means profile. I then want you to cycle through the list of profiles using the keys on the left until you reach GBU-12.
Done. No, sorry.
The arrow should be sitting next to GBU-12.
Yes, it's now next to GBU-12, the arrow.
Click on the top button which says View Profile.
Okay, it's giving me some data.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. At the bottom left it should say something about change settings, correct?
Yep.
Click that button, it'll give you a new set of data.
Roger.
Including auto laze and laze time.
Roger.
Right, so click the auto laze button to enable auto laze. Then I want you to input into the computer 1.5 and put that into the the laze time setting.
Laze time. Done.
Right, now click save at the top.
Saved.
Alright, so now what you've done is your plane will automatically fire the laser designator 15 seconds from impact, as long as you have the target in sight of your TGP. Make sure your laser is armed.
Laser armed.
Right, double check that your TGP is currently the SPI.
It is soy and it has a viable SPI.
Okay. So now all you're going to do is the same thing you did with the CBU-97s. You're going to fly in, line the things up, press and hold until the countdown reaches 0, the bomb will pickle. You're going to then keep on your heading until you see the bomb has impacted in the TGP.
So the problem I've got at the moment is that I've got a GBU-38 selected and I can't choose GBU-12.
Remember what I told you on the upfront keyboard.
Roger. Yep, so I've now got GBU, manual release, TGP, TGP destroy, and viable SPI selected. Right, I'm going to head in now, if I can remember where the bloody hell this thing is.
It should be marked on your HUD.
Tally, 7 miles, perfect. We've got 14,000 feet, so everything is good. Okay, SPI is in sight, heading that way. Haven't got my usual... It's okay, it's just because I'm so high, I think. I don't have my usual CCRP line. I've got a dotted line, but
You're in CCIP mode, cycle modes.
stand by. CCR. Yep, I've got everything now. So I just drop it like what kind of bomb? How do I drop it?
Same way you did with the CBU 97 in CCRP mode.
Joy. Right. Head
So
in.
wait for the countdown, press and hold the weapon release button, and it'll do its thing.
Right. 13 seconds. 12. Diverting slightly. 6 seconds. And drop. Off she goes.
Yeah, there it goes. Now, 15 seconds from impact, the laser will activate and the bomb will continue tracking. Now, you need to keep on a straight flight path, otherwise you risk your wing blocking the laser line of sight.
Roger, straight flight path.
Tracking.
She's tracking. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, and flash, track, you. Nice, my first laser guided bomb in this plane. Very good. So we've done, as was outstanding, we've done a GBU-12 laser drop with 15-second setup. We've done our Mavericks, which are a piece of pie. We've done our sat-nav bombs. What are they called? GBU-38.
Yes.
Cool. Anything else to add before I shoot you down with the Sidewinder?
Let me think about this. I think that basically covers all of the methods used via CCRP. There will be a later video on how to do more advanced stuff with the Dismiss, but we can do that on the ground, so for now we'll go stick to the Sidewinders.
Right, how do I go some kind of air-to-air? Right, is it, how do I go to Sidewinders then? I'm not actually sure. I've never selected them before.
So, here's the interesting thing. In order to cycle to the Sidewinders, you have to press and hold the weapon select mode.
Yes, doing. Okay, I've
And you
got...
should see air-to-air mode pops up, right?
Shit, someone's getting shot by SA-18, it's not me. Yes, that's exactly... I can hear a buzzing, so...
Yeah, that is your favorite AIM-9 Sidewinder turret. Now, this mode does a couple of things. It's not only acting as the Sidewinder mode, it's also acting as the air-to-air gun cross mode.
Okay, I need to find you to see how the guns work with this. Whereabouts are you?
Currently pretty much directly over the target at Angels 8.
One player, please.
You'll be able to tell the difference between a Harrier and an A-10 when you get closer.
Gotcha. Right, so I've got my... let's do guns first. So where's my gun? I don't have a gun sight or anything up. So
I'm trying to figure out how to get the gun cross to come up. It isn't cooperating.
armed guns are armed.
Ah, okay, I've got it. So, set your height as soy.
Done.
Then cycle through the weapon select keys. What you're actually doing is creating weapon profiles, and the gun cross will basically set itself up according to those profiles. So if you select A10 or F15, for example. So I'm telling you to use DMS forward and aft. So set yourself as your HUD as soy, and then use DMS forward and aft.
Do you mean left and right?
Yes, left and right. Fuck.
And by just trying to find you again. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm right on your ass. So next, I'm gonna go.
Right.
Okay, I can do AH-64, whatever the bloody hell that is.
That's an Apache.
SU-25. So what am I setting up here? I don't get it.
You're setting up a non-radar guided gun cross. What you'll see is there's a couple of lines that are dragging along. That is a wingspan indicator. So basically, you put the wingspan of your target between there, and it will be in your gun sight, and you pull the trigger to shoot at it.
Alright, I'm gonna just show it without hitting you. So you do something like that, basically. Yeah, I get it, I get it, that's fine. Okay,
right, so just above that you have a small cross surrounded by a circle, right?
Above that I have a cross. It's not got a circle, but yeah, we'll go with the cross.
Right, so first things first. TMS aft short. Press that to recenter the bore sight of your Sidewinders.
Yes, the bore sight is back.
Right, so
it's locked onto you.
the gun cross represents, or the little cross represents the bore sight of the gun, as usual. On top of that, you have the circle, which represents the bore-sighted AIM-9 Sidewinder.
Roger.
If you press TMS forward short, your weapon will start to seek in what's essentially Sidewinder extended acquisition mode. So it'll spin in a circle round and round,
Yep.
looking for a heat signature
So
until it finds it.
It's just uncaged it, and it's now following you uncaged from bore. Roger.
Right. So at this point, if you have good tone, all you should need to do is fire the weapon.
Goodbye, Shem. It was lovely knowing you. No, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Fight.
Fight.
Hopefully Seethor does not erupt. I'm gonna go for a guns kill if I can.
Damn, I lost you.
I'm right on your right wing.
Hello, Sherman. Hi yo-yo! You can't hi yo-yo me. I'm gonna hi
You're not going to
yo-yo.
try high you in an A-10, are you?
Yep. Fuck them, I completely bugged it up.
Yeah, I figured as much. I see Seethor still trying to keep formation with you.
Which is a silly boy.
Also, now would be a good time for you to use your external jettison. Just above your left MFCD, the big red button. There you go, now you're substantially lighter. Are you trying to jinx me?
Got you! The
Not
tables
quite.
have turned, sir.
No, they're not. Okay, now I've genuinely lost you in my canopy. Oh, there you are. Oh, you cheeky bastard. You've done an
Yeah,
air
brake check. Shit. No, you bastard. Oh, I hate it. Right, excellent.
Victory, and I didn't even fire a shot.
Mother. Right, so that is just about everything covered. So all we've got to do now is data link doesn't work, is that right?
It doesn't. We will save that for when the build has functional data link, but we can go over the advanced functions of the DSMS page.